Good morning. My name is Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVSAUDIO in Roselle, New Jersey. And today I want to talk about the Firstech Compustar training that they had last night in Jersey City. Training was put together by Frankie from the 12 Volt Marketing Group, Firstech and Compustar, and my distributor, Larry from Specialty Marketing. So I got an invitation from all three. I try to make it to as many trainings as possible. It was a little disappointing to see that it was all the same people that we always see at the training. These are people that own really nice shops, don't really get stuck on cars, really don't have to call tech support that often because they've been pre-educated by going through the training, finding out what's going on with all the new product, being able to talk and network with each other. You guys that aren't going to the training are really missing out and really doing a disservice to your customers. So for my customers, I just want to reach out and tell you some of the new exciting stuff that we saw at the training that we thought was useful and helpful. Uh, the drone mobile app, they're coming out with a new one that's set to release in 30 to 45 days. They added a really awesome feature to the app that I haven't seen anybody do before. The drone mobile smartphone control is one of my favorite add-ons, and they do something a little bit differently. It's just one part number, whether you want GPS tracking or non-GPS tracking, which makes it really easy. We could sell a system with cell phone control to a customer, and then they could later add on the GPS feature through the app by paying the extra money if they want. That's something you can't do with any other brand on the market currently. So they took this powerful unit and added a really smart feature that I appreciate. It's the family share mode. So when you're lending your car to a friend or a family member, you have the drone on your phone, so you can control it, see what's going on with the car, but you don't have the car in your possession. So now you can give them access to the app with limited control, so they can protect your vehicle that you spend a lot of money on, that you put custom wheels, custom stereo on, so they will get alerts and notification on their phone, whether it's for GPS, alarm, lock, unlock. It gives them limited control. You control how much access they get, and then when they give you the car back, you can remove their access from the app. This is all without giving them your username, your password. It's their unique login for when they borrow your car, the car stays protected and they can see what's going on with the car. That's super awesome. I'm glad these guys thought up this. It makes sense. It's something I would use myself. The flagship remote, the T11 remote, stays the same this year, but then they did something which I also like. Here at the shop with the older T11 package, the backup remote was a one-way remote. I didn't like that, so we were creating our own packages by taking the one-button two-way remote out of one of the other Pro kits and pairing it, since they use the same antenna. So I gave our customer the LCD screen, 3-mile range, two-way remote, and then the backup remote was a two-way, one button. The problem with doing it that way, you did not get alarm notifications on the second remote. Now in the new T12 package, it comes with the T11 remote and a backup 4-button LED remote, which also gives you two-way alarm notifications. So you get the far range no matter if you're using the primary or secondary remote. It gives you between, if you use the backup remote, up to 2-mile range, if you use the main remote, up to 3-mile range. So we no longer have to create these packages. Firstech did it for us. So that's an upgrade to the T11 line, which was already awesome. Another thing that I liked was the DAS sensor. DAS sensor allows us to do remote start on manual transmission. It does shock, tilt, and accelerometer built in. It was a little difficult to program and set. We just had an issue with one that took me a half hour to set up. So with the improvements to the DS2, we won't have that issue anymore. The shock sensor has an LCD readout on the sensor itself, and then you can set the sensitivity on the sensor itself. Then on the readout, it shows you what level of sensitivity it's set to. Awesome, love it. Then on top of that, they also integrated a glass brake sensor. So now you have shock, tilt, glass brake, and accelerometer built into this already awesome sensor. Love it. The Honda T-harnesses for all the new push-to-start Hondas got an upgrade which on certain models allows you to do takeover. Right now, if we do remote start on a new push-start Honda, when you open the door, the car shuts down. Using the DC3 and the T-harness, if you use the new upgraded T-harness it just came out with, on some models, it would allow the car to stay running and you could do secure takeover. So I have a few customers that are going to want to come back and get upgraded to that. In software, they upgraded reservation mode. So if you have a manual transmission car and there were some customers running into an issue on the push-to-start cars, I know we had the issue on an Acura TL. If you open the door to let somebody out and then close the door, it confuses the starter. And then when you go to pull away, it actually shuts the car down, thinking that you wanted to enter reservation mode. So now there's a couple of options, so you can select how you want it to act when you open and close the door, and it won't let it go into reservation mode unless you want it to. It doesn't sound like an important feature, but if you have remote start on a manual transmission push start car, you'll know what I'm talking about. This feature is important. I'm glad they added it. Also, you guys that don't go to training, don't get the cool free tools that they hand out. So it's a panel tool that we already use, but it's got the Compustar logo on it and this plastic protective coating. Already got one at Knowledge Fest, but you can never have too many tools. Got another one last night. If you don't go, you don't get it. They gave out about $5,000 in remote starters and drones and alarms yesterday. They gave out 15 to 20 pieces. I understand we're all busy. The food was excellent. It was at the Hibachi in Jersey City at the Hudson Mall. We closed an hour early. I took my team with me. We sat down, talked to other people in the industry. We stayed out till about 10 o'clock last night. It's hard to do, but you're not going to get the latest information if you don't go to training. If you don't go to training, you're not going to be able to offer your customers the best product, the best service. You guys really need to start going. Thank you guys for putting the show together. It was very informative. And I'm going to head and pass this on to my customers. Have a great day. I'll see you next week.
How much do we stand do your sheets for? Hey, what up? We got your sheets on the post. What's going on?
I remember that. We're get started. We appreciate everybody's time, personal time coming to this event. Great gathering. In case you don't know me, my name is Frankie Mark, of course, and I'm the rep principal of the 12-volt marketing group. It's a rep firm here that represents Firstech Compustar ADS, and it's going to be an exciting night again. It's wonderful to see everybody come in. I see new faces. There's some new dealers here on board, so, and of course, familiar faces that comes here year over year to, of course, get great information and get ready for the remote start season. So what I like to do is introduce some of the rest of the hosts, people from Firstech here, and also this past month, I hired 2 new associates to my rep firm. Purpose of that, of course, is to provide better service to my rep firm. So you see some of these LCDs, right? So the alarm went off. When I go back to the car, what's the first thing I do?
Get it in drive.
I hit on lock, right? So what would happen is my LED was giving me a diagnostic, but when I hit on lock, the diagnostic shuts off and then I don't know what happened. So what we do now is we give you different flashes for different input triggers, and also we keep it after the on-lock signal until you turn the ignition on. Once you turn the ignition on, then it resets the LED. So at least when you hit on lock and open the door, you will see the LED flashing either 2, 3, 4 times, whatever the case is, and you'll know what was triggering the vehicle.